Good morning everyone, welcome back to host-tune-perform.com. This is Anand Goel and today I am here to discuss some key points over WordPress development. So as a business developer, I have seen most of you are very serious about your product and you make sure that each and every functionality of your WordPress website works fine. But how about the performance and security aspects? So today in this video we will talk about majorly on performance and security aspects of your WordPress websites and some points which you should surely discuss with your WordPress developer. So going forward, I will be covering these 3 points today. One is WordPress.com versus WordPress org, performance related discussions, and then security related discussions. So let us start understanding the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org. So I will not discuss about the technicality of these two aspects, but yes, I will try to make you understand the usage, and like as a business developer, you should know what to use when. So what is WordPress.com? WordPress.com is actually a hosting company. So they are self-using WordPress.org. So WordPress.org was a software which was created by a few people, and one of their co-founders started WordPress.com. So the purpose of WordPress.com is like they are giving enhanced plugins, their own enhanced features, but whenever you create a website on WordPress.com, you need to host that particular website on their servers. So what does it mean? Like whenever you are having a WordPress website, you get a console something like this. So in WordPress.com you get a console something like this, and you can create up your website from here, appearances, you can add plugins, you can drag and drop features. So the main point over here is that you do not require to code. Whatever features they are giving, whatever plugins they are giving, you can use them. And the second part which you need to remember is that you can use only their hosting platform. So whenever you're creating a website on WordPress.com, you have to use their hosting platform. Obviously you can shift your website from their hosting to some other hosting, but again that has some difficulties and it has its own pros and cons. Using WordPress.com or Wix.com or any other hosting platform has their own pros and cons. The pros contains, like, the only good point is like you do not have to go up with some development part. So you can even like have your website developed without any knowledge. You can do it yourself. So when to choose this platform? So the main point which like people come and ask me like when they should choose up this platform. So they should choose up this platform only when they are not ready to pay much to the developers. So what I mean to say is, like, if you are building a product which requires custom development, which has its own custom functionalities, and like which you do not get in some plugins and all, and you are also very much cautious about the performance and security aspects, obviously you should go for WordPress.org. I am a developer and I always recommend people to go for WordPress.org. So the main difference you can identify out is from here. Like when I'm using WordPress.org, I have the feasibility to go into the folder structure, then I can go into the theme, and then I can do the coding part myself. So I can write the code over here and tweak the changes as per me, but this is not possible in WordPress.com. So how you should choose for your business area, like amongst WordPress.com and WordPress.org, the first is the cost. The first thing which you should consider is the cost. Then after considering cost, you should consider the development criteria, how much skilled your developers are. So again, if you do not find some skilled developers to develop up your website, you should never go for WordPress.org. You should rather opt for WordPress.com. So in short, what I wanted to say to you is like you can go for WordPress.org anytime you want, in any kind of circumstance. It is feasible for a platform where you do not have a skilled developer. They can use the console to develop the website. It can be used by some developer. If you want to tweak the changes and do some custom development, it can be used for that. So anyhow, WordPress.org is always a better option as per me. Maybe you want to do it also saves cost. It gives you everything. So next we will discuss about the performance aspect, and like these aspects can be applied to any software, not only to WordPress. So for any software there are only two ways to improve the performance of the product. So one is increasing the hardware capacity and second is optimizing the code. So what do you mean by increasing the hardware capacity? So we will understand this in a minute. Like I will take an example of three kind of website. So as a business developer, there might be a scenario that you are putting up a static website, that is a portfolio website. Say for example you are a photographer and you need a portfolio website for your personal resume. So you are building up that, so that is a static website. Second example I am taking is an e-learning website. So there is a difference between these two, e-learning and e-commerce. So e-learning website will always be specific to a specific field. Maybe for example we have Udemy. So Udemy has a lot of courses. When we talk about Udemy and Amazon is an e-commerce website, and obviously Amazon will be used by much more people than the e-learning website. So in e-learning website the major loads comes up because of the videos, and like in e-commerce website the major load comes up because of the like concurrent users. So why I am discussing this is like I am discussing this to help you understand what kind of website owner are you. So you have to decide on this part, like what kind of website owner are you, which further means you need to define the complexity of the functional part of your website. So how much functional part is a website? So you might have a website in which you are like interpreting a lot of data, share market data maybe, and then you are putting it into graphs and showing it up to your customers. So this is also a functional domain. So this will again, so you can like bifurcate it into three parts. One is the static part, which is the first part over here. Second is the moderate functionality, which is e-learning website, and the third is like full-fledged functionality, which is the e-commerce website. So these functionalities actually define what kind of hardware you should choose. So let's go ahead and like understand the types of hardware which you can choose. So for that I have already opened up few hardware plans, hosting plans, which are given up by GoDaddy. So you can see over here you can choose economy if you are like having a static website. If you are having a moderate website you can go up for the ultimate one. But yes, if you are having an e-commerce website they give you a specific plan for e-commerce. But again in my recommendation I do not suggest this, because as the load increases your website performance decreases. So as per me, when you are running an e-commerce website you always need a dedicated server. So in my career I have seen people choosing up this e-commerce like plan which is given by GoDaddy, but like people run up with performance issues. And but like you can choose up this plan for the start, maybe for a month, 15 days. But if you are very sure about your like platform and you know that you will be able to sell products, you should always go for a dedicated server or a virtual private server. So there is no difference between a dedicated and virtual private server. If I say you like you need to choose between them as a business developer, but yes, there are some technical differences which relate to the performance aspect too, but you can choose any one of them as of here and like go for your e-commerce website. So next thing which we will be discussing today is the code optimization part. So this is the code optimization part, and this will be very specific to WordPress. So in WordPress, what do you need to do at first? I will just tell you. I want you people to make sure that you get the credentials. Like as per this, like you must be having a URL of your own. So as I have hosted this on my local system, you see a WordPress over here. So you will not have this WordPress. How you will have your URL will be like something like this. So it will be like your domain and then WP login. But for me it is like this because I have hosted it on my local system. So you should get the username password of the admin from your developer. Go to the console, go to plugins and check all the plugins which have been installed. After you make a list of all the plugins which have been installed, go to Google. Say for example your developer has added a members plugin. So this plugin is like actually used to build up restrictions for various kind of members. So if you see over here that it has 249 votes and it has a rating of 4.7. so you need to make sure that your developer has chosen all the good plugins. And if you just open it and see it, so you see over here that the active installations for this particular plugin is more than like 2 lakh. So like what I mean to say is like this actually describes that this plugin is itself not broken, and this will further not break your functionality in your product. So you need to choose only those plugins which are verified and are being used by many people and have good rating. So if your developer is not doing so, this may degrade your performance, and I have seen like cases where like performance is getting degraded because of the usage of bad plugins. So next point which I want you to like understand is regarding the custom PHP queries, custom REST API and custom post types. So amongst these three, custom REST APIs are very important. So these actually like make the performance of your website very fast. So what exactly are custom REST APIs? I will try to explain you in few words. So if you like see up my screen, if you see up my screen, I have opened up a website which is for fictional university, and it has few areas like it shows us the upcoming events, it is for blogs. So this is for a university website. This is a university website which has like about us page, programs, events and a search button. I have not built up this website yet, but like I just wanted you to understand the concept behind the scene. So for instance, you have a search button in your website and you click on the search button and you click on biology. So biology is a word which can be in upcoming events, biology is a word which can be in blogs, biology is a word which can be in authors, which can be in programs, which can be a part of campuses, or which can be a part of blogs. So this particular word can be present at various areas. So one method can be you send an API. You do not need to dig in deep what exactly is API, but you can just understand that API is a mechanism to like contact the server and fetch you back the information. So one method is like you are like sending in an API for each one of them and then like bringing back the information. And the second method is like you send in only one request to the server which brings back all the information about biology and then it shows on the front end. So if you see my screen, so this is the URL where this will be your domain, and this path is for the WordPress created search algorithms. So anything, if you can like check on your website, you can click on the search button and then see like if it has this part, and then after question mark if it has the search keyword over here, and then it has a search value. So this is not the keyword, this is the search value, this is the like the keyword and this is the value. So you are searching for biology over here as per my example. So you need to make sure that your developer changes this part of search to something else, and then only one request is sent to the server rather than sending up the 10 requests. So again, you do not need to dig up deep into it. I just wanted you to understand like how you can check if your developer is not faking you out. So you need to make sure that things are good on your part. Now I'm just coming back to my performance slide. So here like these are few areas where you can like have a discussion with your developer, and one very important thing is like you can do all of these things only on wordpress.org, because wordpress.com does not give you a feasibility of like doing the code as per your parts, and like you can just use the plugins and all. So this is why I always say that you should go for wordpress.org and not wordpress.com. So this was all about the performance aspect, and now we will just go ahead and like talk about the security aspect. So I will be starting up with the 5th point over here, which will be like buying up the SSL certificate for security. So for this I will recommend all of you to buy a SSL certificate, and like after buying an SSL certificate you will not see a non-secure sign over here. If you see over here, it is hosted on my local, but this is on perfectly on HTTP. But if you go on my Facebook page and see over here, it is on HTTPS. So SSL certificate gives you like the leverage of having your system more secure over TCP IP protocol. Again, you do not need to go deep inside it, but yes, this is a good thing for your website, and you should maintain HTTPS rather than HTTP. And this also like gains trust for your customers, so you should obviously always do this. Then if you go forward, you should change the WordPress database prefix. This is the first point as per the security measures which you should take upon. What exactly does this mean? So to understand this, I will just go ahead and like log in to my MySQL server. So you can see that this is my MySQL server, and like you can, if you see over here that my prefix is TA. So by default the prefix is WP for WordPress database, but I have changed this prefix to TA. So it is necessary for you to change this prefix. It makes sure that like even if your website is hacked, so like there is a phenomena, if there is a WordPress developer, he will always know that your database table name will start with WP, and it will be like comment metadata, or it will be comment. So these all names will be same in all the places. Whosoever will be using WordPress, all these names will be same. So tweaking this particular prefix make sure that it becomes difficult for the hacker to reach your database. So now again we will be going to the next part. Second thing is disable directory browsing. What exactly this means? I'm going back to my screen. So if you see over here that whenever this is my URL, what you should do instead of this, you should, instead of whole of this, like this is on my local, that's why it is still here, instead whole of this you should put up your URL, and then after that you should put up wp-content and hit an enter. It should not show you a page something like this. If it shows, then that is bad. So your content should not be visible from the front end. So go ahead and again contact your developer and ask him to make changes. This can be done in various ways. There is a file called as .htaccess. Either he can make changes in that, or else like he can place an index file over here. So if you go ahead and like, if I go ahead and click on plugins in my system, so it shows you nothing, what all plugins are there, because I already have an index file. So WordPress makes sure that like every folder has an index file, but there might be some custom folders, and like people may reach out to that. So you should like make sure that you do not have this thing in your system. I will just go ahead and we will discuss now about like changing the login URL. So this part is also very important. So why it is important is, like if you see up my screen and I just type over here wp-login, so I get to the login screen of my, so I know that no one uses the WordPress login logo. They change it with the logo of their own company, and similarly they might change all the background and all, but people forget to change this word, which is wp.login. So if I can see like this website is on WP login, so I know that this is on WordPress, and the chances of security threats on your system or on your product increases, because I know that this has been built on WordPress. So kindly do not tell people that you have created a website on WordPress. This should always be secure, and this is information which should not be revealed. So this should be changed. There are ways via which this could be changed. So there is a plugin which is called as WPS hide login. You can either use that, or even your developer can write up a code for this. Fourth thing which I want to discuss as per the security part is the firewall. So you can have this plugin installed. This is also a widely used plugin. If I just go to my screen and show you up the plugin, so it is Sucuri WordPress plugin. You can just find over here, and you can see over here that it has 332 votes with 4.4 rating. This has an active installation of 7 lakhs. You see over here, this has an active installation of 7 lakhs. So this is a very good plugin. So you can either have this plugin, but more importantly, like I if you are having a good e-commerce website or something like that, we at hosttuneperform.com provide in-house hosting. So what does this mean that we provide in-house hosting is like, we come up to your factory, we create up a system, we ask you to buy a lease line, and then we place the server at your factory. So your material remains with you. You do not host it on somewhere else, you host it on your machines. And like, we can even then moderate these security settings. We can even like have a firewall of your own. The next part which I want to talk about will be always back up your website. So people like, there might be so many reasons like people do not back up their website, but it is very important to back up your website. So please back up your website, because if there is any concern or threat, then like you can just remove up your website completely, so, and like you can revamp it with more security measures. So these are not only the security measures which you can take. There can be two-step authentication security, or there can be many other security measures also which can be applied to your website, but obviously these are some major ones which you should take care, and always make sure that your WordPress website is secure. Thank you everyone, have a great day. If you like and hope that this video was helping you out, please hit the like button and please subscribe our channel.